Alright, hello and welcome back to the network, where this episode of Mail Time we got ourselves a big old box we can open up, so let's just crack on into it. Rush, perishable insulated. Okay, so, I mean, that's not what's in here. I'm guessing that there was food that they got sent. So let's just take that wrapping and be gone with it. Alright, let's actually get a knife. Where I have found the knife. There's a penguin wearing a bow tie. That's interesting. I have never seen that before on packaging, and that's awesome. Well, I mean, I gotta give it to the Facebook seller. They packaged it pretty well. Oh, there's a slip of paper. Thank you, Crystal. Well, thank you, Crystal, because this was a hell of a deal if it, didn't get damaged on the way over here. So we got some Menards wrapping on there. Okay, and then some bubble wrap. Oh, it looks like it's okay. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, move the box. There we go. Now, I know we've opened one of these before on the channel. However, the one that we got the first time was missing the blue lens here at the front that she used for the aiming. And I tried making a replacement one of those, and it did not work out well at all. So now that we got the original with all of its glory, assuming that this receiver works, then we'll be cooking with gas and we can use this in an episode. Now, I'm pretty sure you push this button down and then you can detach the front scope, but this one is just in there really good. Alright, but yeah, hopefully this thing all works. We'll probably give it a test here in a little while, and we'll go from there. So a little bit of history on the LaserScope. This thing was released back in 1991 by Konami to coincide with the release of a game called Laser Invasion. Now, the way that Konami marketed this thing back in the day was that parents will love what they don't hear. And to a certain extent, that's true, because all of your game sounds are going to be going into the headset if you're wearing it, while you're playing. The one caveat to that, though, is if you did want to play Laser Invasion or any light gun game, in order for the light gun functionality to work, you have to scream into this microphone. So, albeit they won't be hearing the game with the beeps and the boops, they will be hearing you screaming in the other room. Well, that's enough about the history of this thing, so let's plug it in and see if it works. So for those of you unfamiliar with the Konami LaserScope, this is essentially a light gun for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and instead of it being your traditional light gun where you pull a trigger or push a button, this one is voice activated by simply yelling into the microphone onto the side. So in order to hook this thing up to your NES, you have two plugs. You have one with like a red RCA jack, and then there's one with a Nintendo plug. The Nintendo plug goes into port 2 on the NES, and then it comes with this other jack, which is a 3.5mm jack. Now, this is in the configuration for it to work with Nintendo, but if you wanted to use this headset on your day-to-day life, like listening to your Game Boy or something, you just unplug the red RCA adapter, and then you have a standard 3.5mm jack. Now, I know that in today's time, these little 3.5mm jacks are hard to come by, but for any device that does make use of that connection type, you can plug it into that and use the LaserScope as an ordinary headset. Now, to plug this into the NES, what you're going to want to do is remove the red RCA jack that is on the side of the console, and then plug in this adapter. And then with the adapter plugged in, you then want to plug in your RCA jack. And then this is going to feed the audio from the system into your headset. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and secure this down really quickly, and then we'll cut back. Okay, with that all secured, we can go ahead and turn our console back on. If you're making use of one of these, it will be extra thick. And then all you have to do is plug in your standard NES controller into port 1 on the console, and then insert your light gun game. In this circumstance, we're going to be using the power pack, and then we'll just load Duck Gun off of it, as that does ease of use. We'll just go ahead and turn on the Nintendo, and then take a seat over at the couch. So now, if you're getting started with the Konami LaserScope, what you want to do is adjust it so that it can fit your head. Now, this thing was designed for a lot smaller heads, more so kids. And then once you put it on, you'll notice that you have this little reticle. You want to kind of position it, or this little blue lens, you want to kind of position it so it's over your eye. And now what you'll see from that perspective, if I can demonstrate it on the camera, is you'll see this little crosshair, and that's what you use to aim. This little red dot gets projected from the inside, which is really cool. And then to make sure that everything is set up correctly for you to hear audio, you want to make sure that you have a couple switches on the side. This says stereo or NES. You want it to be in NES mode if you want to control like in games. And then down here, you can switch it to either single fire, so when you say a word, it'll just say it once, or turbo, which is great. And then your volume adjustment knob is down here on the side. So we'll go ahead and we'll slot this headset on, get my reticle all positioned up, and then we'll flick the microphone down. And then this is what we will use to actually shoot in the game. So lining up the reticle on here, and if I say fire, fire, fire. Well, so far we have not hit anything, but there is potential that we can. Now, some people would classify this as cheating because I am extremely close to the TV, but in order to get this framing down so that you can see me and this, and now that we're not BSing it, we have this this really close-up view. So let's go ahead and give this a test. Okay, I don't really want to do clay shooting, so we're gonna switch it over to one duck. Fire. All right, and fire. Okay, so now I just got to use this magical little crosshair and hope that I can actually hit something. Okay, here we go. Fire! Nice! That's pretty good. Now, you can actually say anything you want with this, so I could go, oof! Ah, damn. Almost could kill a duck with an oof. So, as you can see, this Konami LaserScope, after about 30 some odd years, is still managing to function, which is great. So if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe so that you don't miss any future videos where we'll go over more retro console accessories. And with that, we'll see you in the next one.